Hey, I just wanted to do an update on the fruiting so far this summer. It's late summer now, August 13th, 2015. And I'm just going to do an update on the trees that actually did produce this year. The first one here is my little Liberty tree. It's 3 years old, I believe. It's a dwarf rootstock. Didn't get very tall, but it's got an amazing fruit set this year, considering it's so young. These are Liberty apples, and they've still probably got another 2 to 3 weeks before they would be ripe. Maybe even more than that, maybe a month. But they're just huge apples. They're big in my hand here. Getting some color. They've had a little bit of color for a while, but I believe they are a September ripening apple. This is the first crop, and there's probably at least 50 apples on this. I removed more than half of them, but it's still producing very heavy, perfectly formed apples. No issues with any disease at all. It's a great looking tree. The leaves are in great shape for this time of year. You'll see on some of the other apple trees that they're struck with different diseases. So very impressed with this Liberty apple. We'll see how the eating goes, but just an excellent fruit set on this. Great looking apples too. I'll move on over to here to the Akane apple. It's a year older on semi-dwarfing rootstock. It said its first fruit this year as well too, one apple. So it's got to be close. It's a late August apple here in Ontario. It's got some nice red color. It can't be too far off. It's a pretty good looking apple, and the leaves are in pretty good shape as well too. This apple does have quite a bit of disease resistance to most of the common diseases. I'll move on to one of my mature trees, the Golden Delicious apple. Very heavy fruit set this year. We had almost no apples last year. So we've got a very heavy fruit set this year. The apples are still kind of small. Not bad. There's lots of them. I've had to stake the tree down with all these poles to hold up the branches that are almost down to the ground. I used to be able to get the riding lawnmower under this tree when there's no apples on it, but now the branches are weighed right down to the ground. And again, I cut off a lot of the fruit, but obviously not enough. And I'm still removing any of the ones that are too small or blemished in some way. If they've got more bug bites than I need, I've been taking some out. So it looks like a really heavy fruit set. I hope I haven't let too many apples stay on and we get some kind of windstorm and break off a branch. My other mature tree here is it's kind of my mystery tree, and right now I'm leaning towards Matsu. I lost the tag a long time ago, and I ended up cutting a whole lot of it back because it's probably getting 9 years old now, and I still haven't had much ripe fruit off it. And I was just wondering if it's some kind of apple that doesn't ripen in time here for my zone. But anyway, this is probably the heaviest fruit set it's ever had. Lots and lots of apples. They're getting a bit of blush to them now, but I suspect based on previous years, which wasn't much fruit, but that it's probably a late October apple. Very big size to these, but and fairly blemish free too. It's a good looking apple. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes this year. So I did cut a lot of it back and did some grafting. Ashmead's kernel, all these grafts have taken very well. This is our second year now, and they're probably 5 feet of growth at least. Pitmassus and pineapple took well. Macoons fruited this year. So I had 2 grafts of Macoun on there and got 3 apples this year, and they're looking good. Again, they would be they'd be a little way out yet, but they're looking good. And the other one I had was Strawberry Pippin, which I wouldn't expect it to fruit the first year, and it hasn't. One of them actually fell out after the grafting, but the other one took well. So that's that one. I'll just show you the grapes because I had a really good grape crop as well, minus some powdery mildew damage, but in spite of that, there's still a lot of grapes on the Valiant grape here. There's lots and lots of grapes, but quite a bit of it is, quite a lot of this is damaged with powdery mildew as well. But lots of good grapes in there as well. And the other one we had was K Gray, which a bit bigger than the other ones, and almost no disease issues, especially with the powdery mildew that the Valiant had. Lots and lots of grapes. So just two more fruit trees I'll show you. The one is the Chijiro Asian pear. I planted it last summer as well. And it's got some fruits, but they're just very small. They look like they've got the color, but the color that they get as a ripe fruit, just very small though. Nice looking things, but there's not a whole lot on there, but it's only its second year in the ground here. I did have one pear on the Harrow Delight tree here, but it fell off about midway through development. It fell off or it was pulled off, I'm not sure. So I was hoping to get to try that pear this year, but it's not going to happen. The last tree I have here is the Pembina plum. It's been in the ground for 4 years, I think, and it really hasn't grown a whole lot at all. But it does fruit every year. Probably puts out about 10 plums. I had one the other day, and they were... Well, I had one yesterday, and they were really good. It's a nice look to it. A good bloom on there. Very, very juicy. Okay, that's the update. Talk to you later.